वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री जमुनामाय गंगमाय भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद हरि बोल। All glory is the sum of the devotees. All glory is the sum of the devotees. All glory is the sum of the devotees. Jai Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 7. Usitva Archita. Usitma Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Hari Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasus Chapriya Kamyaya. What happened? Usitva Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Harihi Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasus Cha Priyakamyaya. Share books. Anyone who has a book, share it with your neighbor, few neighbors. Usitva Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Harihi Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasus Cha Priyakamyaya. Usitva Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Harihi Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasus Cha Priyakamyaya. Usitva Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Harihi Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasus Cha Priyakamyaya. Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Harihi Cha Vishokaya Swasus Cha Priyakamyaya. Usitva Hastinapure Katipayan Harihi Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasus Cha Priyakamyaya. Usitva Hastinapure Masan Katipayan Harihi Suridam Cha Vishokaya Swasucha Priyakamyaya Ushitva Hastinapure Katipayan Hari Svedam Chavishokaya Swasucha Priyakamyaya. Mataji's. Ushitva Hastinapure Sankatipayan Harihi Suridam Chavishokaya Swasuscha Priyakamyaya Ushitva staying Hastinapure in the city of Hastinapur. Masan months. Katipayan a few. Harihi Lord Sri Krishna. Surinam relatives. Cha also. Vishokaya for pacifying them. Swasu the sister. Cha and Priyakamyaya for pleasing. Translation. Sri Hari Lord Sri Krishna resided in Hastinapur for a few months to pacify his relatives and please his own sister Subhadra. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna was to start for Dwarka, his own kingdom, after the battle of Kurukshetra, and Yudhisthira being enthroned, but to oblige the request of Maharaj Yudhisthira and to show special mercy to Bhishma Dev, Lord Krishna stopped at Hastinapur, the capital of the Pandavas. The Lord decided to stay, especially to pacify the aggrieved king, as well as to please Subhadra, sister of Lord Sri Krishna. Subhadra was especially to be pacified because she lost her only son, Abhimanyu, who was just married. The boy left his wife Uttara, mother of Maharaj Parikshit. The Lord is always pleased to satisfy his devotees in any capacity. Only his devotees can play the parts of his relatives. The Lord is absolute. Usitva Hastinapure masan katipayan harihi suridam cha vishokaya swasuscha priyakamyaya. Sri Hari Lord Sri Krishna resided in Hastinapur for a few months to pacify his relatives and to please his own sister Subhadra. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So herein, Lord Sri Krishna wanted to please Maharaj Yudhisthira, Bhishma Dev, and Subhadra. Krishna is personal. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam eko bahunam yo viradati kaman. We are eternal and Krishna is eternal. We are personality and Krishna himself also has personality. So just like we have the quality of wanting to see our relatives and our friends and loved ones, so Krishna also, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we get those qualities from Krishna. Actually, we have all of Krishna's qualities in minute quantity, up to 78%. So we are infinitesimal. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say infinitesimal in his lectures. Krishna is infinite and we are infinitesimal. We are the small He is the big. But we have His qualities, so in this material world, we stay sometimes because of loved ones. Just like so many people came to visit me, friends, family, loved ones. I was so grateful. That actually inspired me to good health, not the medications that the doctors prescribed, which caused more ill health. Seventh canto of Bhagavatam says that the medication of this material world actually causes more difficulties. They say in medical terms, they would tell my son, oh, there have been complications. They cause the complications from this drug and that drug and the interaction, blood vessel bursting. Heart looks like it's not working properly. Heart was fine. Blood vessels were fine. But they caused, the medicine caused the disease. But the cure, NHAO Sodi Maya Nashibaro Lagi, Harinama Mahamantra Lo Tumi Magi. The medicine, NHAO Sodi Maya, the medicine that we're after, the Bhava Sodi, Bhava Soda Chotra Mano Biramat. The medicine is the holy names. Krishna Katha, and the association of the devotees. Devotees bless us by reminding us to think of Krishna, to chant and hear the pastimes of Lord Krishna. That is the medicine, O Sodi. The disease that we're suffering in this material world, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Bhagavad Gita tells us birth, death, disease, and old age. This is the actual disease. And the cure, the Asaudi, isn't vancomycin. It isn't the drugs of the medical world. The medicine is Krishna Katha, Krishna consciousness. And if we take that medicine, then we're cured. We get great inspiration and hope because we're spirit souls. And the soul needs to be fed and the soul needs to be inspired. This body is dukkhaila mashashvatam. It's temporary and miserable. You have fun for so much time and eventually no more fun. You're thinking I can enjoy forever when you're 20, 25 years old, but as soon as you hit 50, what to speak of 60, I can't even imagine 70. I have to ask Judakarma Prabhu and Amla Bhakta Prabhu, is all physically downhill. Therefore, the great songs of the Vaishnavas say, Visaya Chadiya, Sera Se Majiya, Muke Bolo Hari Hari. All we have to do is chant Hare Krishna, think of Krishna, worship Lord Krishna. But there's one thing that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking. Visaya Chadiya Serase Majiya. Give up our association with this material world. Give up our sense gratification, visayi. We've had sense gratification for so many lifetimes, and it hasn't ultimately made us happy. Actually, it's brought us greater misery. So much satisfaction, so much sense gratification. My parents left the country for 10 months when I was 16 years old. They took my brother, my father, mother. They went to Thailand. And because I was a junior going on senior year in high school, was trying to get good grades and sports, they left me home alone. Nowadays, I think you'd be put in a foster care and your parents would be arrested. But back then, nobody seemed to care. I was home alone for almost the entire year, practically. And like any good 16-year-old young man, I tried to enjoy like anything. I did my best. Parties, kids over, kids stay over, drinking, so many debaucherous activities. Is that a word? So many activities of debauchery. But at the end, I was completely frustrated. Practical experience. Completely frustrated because the other kids had drank all my father's liquor, and we left a little bit in the bottom and poured water in to make it seem like the bottle was still full. They broke windows. They ruined they destroyed 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, destroyed the house. And people I never heard of before, never met in my life, were coming over and saying they're my best friend. Can I bring my friend, my girlfriend, and stay at your house? Everyone all of a sudden became my friend. And they were never my friend. And they took things from the house. They stole and pilfered and cheated. So I had practical experience that at the end, when all the neighbors were, in those days, all there was Western Union. By Krishna's grace, there was no internet, there was no fax, I think it was just beep, 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 beep. I may not be that old, but something like that. The Western Union. So they got a message to my parents in Thailand after a month or two, and they were like, no. You have to go. He has to go to his aunt and uncle in Evanston. You can't stay home alone anymore. Of course, I still had the key. I still had the car. I could still go as I wished. And practically, I experienced little satisfaction. An inkling. Mostly disturbance. Even the police finally caught me. And they were like, what are you doing? And I tried to say, I'm an honor student. I'm co-captain of the wrestling team at Niles Township. I'm this, I'm that. I'm studying to go to university. I gave them so many excuses that they poured out the liquor that was in the car. A major offense. Open bottle of liquor. I don't even know how it got there. poured out the liquor, and said, go home and don't cause any trouble. Stay with your aunt and uncle. Don't go to the house. I had to explain the whole story. They finally let me go. And there was no happiness. At the end, I was the same agitated person that I was before they left. Kali Yuga is described, Prayana Payusa Sabya, Kaloa Asmin Yuge Jana, Manda Sumanda Mata Yomanda Bhagya, Hiupadrita. People in this age are short-lived, misguided, quarrelsome, and always disturbed at trifles. The littlest thing happens, and people are disturbed like it's a major offense. You ride on the highway, someone doesn't signal to change lanes, and the person wants to chase them and kill them. Manda sumanda mata yo manda bhagya. Disturbed, so disturbed at trifles. The littlest thing, and I can't tolerate it. This is the nature of Kali Yuga. Therefore, Krishna teaches us. Krishna says, tolerate the pushing. Tolerate the pleasure and the pain. There's pleasure in this world. There's going to be pain. Unbelievable pain. I think one popular movie, they asked one boxer, what's your prediction for the fight? And the challenger said, pain and suffering. That's the nature of this material world. He got it right. Pain and suffering. There's a little bit of enjoyment. There's a little bit of sense gratification. But there's a lot of pain and suffering. No question. Pleasure comes for a few seconds. Pain is there, it won't go away. Doctor looked at my foot, he said, well, you really don't have that great blood flow. It's going to take a while to heal. I said, but it really hurts. It's painful, even when I'm not standing. He said, well, what do you expect? It's an open wound. What do you want? His response was, of course it hurts. The material world hurts. It's painful. If you look back over your life and see, even you're a young man, the times I've had pleasure materially, and the times I've had pain, you remember the pain. My sister came over with her husband from Florida, and they were going over all the times that we killed each other. I had a big metal, piggy bank. I smashed her lips, and she got 5 stitches, had to be rushed to the hospital, and it's a scar to this day from her lips that she has to explain to people. My little brother was playing, he was 3, and he got mad at me. She was so kind to me. During Valentine's Day, we didn't have the little candies like usual. I must have been 3 or 2. So she found Bayer aspirin for children and wrote in pencil, she was 3 years older, 5, 6 years old, or either made a heart or wrote, "I love you," in pencil, and fed me a bottle of Bayer aspirin for children. I was rushed to the hospital at 3 and had to have my stomach pumped. These are the things we were recalling and reminiscing. There was no question of, do you remember when we were so happy because of it? No, it was, do you remember the pain I caused you here? Do you remember when you broke your arm and fell off the tractor when you were 5 there? And you told me I'm in a lot of pain, but you were scared to tell Mom and Dad because they'd yell, and your elbow was broken. Pain. This material world is full of pain and suffering. Dukhayalam ashashva. She stayed from 9 in the morning till 9 at night for 2 days. And practically speaking, all we talked about was pain and suffering. By the time I was like, oh my God, I can stop thinking about the pain and suffering of this material world. Dukhayalam ashashvatam. And don't think in the future there'll be no pain. There'll be a little bit of enjoyment. There's going to be a lot of pain. I guarantee you. I'm preparing myself. Chant Hare Krishna. Give up sense gratification. Visaya chadiya serase majiya. Because the future, writing's on the wall. Materially speaking, the future is painful. So many, I was at the doctor's office, it was a new office, so they had to go through a list of diseases and troubles that you've had in your life, like 60. And I said, oh, just check them all off. I think I've had them all. And then they started reading. HPV virus? No. Hepatitis B? No. They read the diseases on and on and on. I only had 3 or 4. I've got 50, 60, 70 to go. So many diseases. I was shocked. Slipped disc? No. Broken hip? No, my hips are good. So many difficulties. They went through every one of them. Yes or no? I only had 4 or 5 yeses. But the no's, they'll turn to yeses someday, probably. Therefore, stop looking for pleasure in this material world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. And go for spiritual pleasure. Anandam Bhuri Vardhanam. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Pleasure that pleases the soul. That pleasure can't be taken away. That pleasure can't get sick unless you stop chanting and dancing and eating Krishna Prasad. That pleasure is forever and increases. That is our real pleasure. And therefore, devotees are actually happy. Because they're not after the pleasure of this material world. They're after the pleasure of the spiritual world. They're after the pleasure of Lord Krishna. Krishna, he's unlimitedly happy and pleased and enjoying. And we have that same quality in minute quantity. But we can enjoy that spiritual happiness. Therefore, Krishna himself, he stayed to give pleasure to Yudhisthira, to give pleasure to Bhishma as he was passing from this world, to give pleasure to Subhadra. Subhadra was his sister, and she was the wife of Arjuna. Subhadra had to be married, so Balaram, the brother, said, I've got a good husband for you, in Krishna book, Duryodhana. Very nice. Krishna and his father Vasudeva, her father, her brothers and sisters, they said, no, Arjuna. And Balaram being the eldest brother, isn't it? He said, no, I want that she marry Duryodhana. So Arjuna went to an assembly where she was going and visiting the temples, Subhadra. He really wanted to marry her. And under Krishna's advice, so Arjuna wouldn't be detected, he dressed up as a sannyasi. But as a sannyasi, he went to kidnap Subhadra. Srila Prabhupada said that many sannyasis, they take sannyas for this kidnapping. But our sannyasis should not be like that. Our sannyasis, Tridanda sannyasi, means with body, mind, and words. One worships the Supreme Person, Tridandi, not this Ekadandi sannyasi. So Arjuna kidnapped Subhadra. And they begot a son, young son, whose name was Abhimanyu. The son, of course, was born young. But when he was young, 16 years old, he ran to engage in the battle of Kurukshetra. Arjuna had been in disguise at King Virata's palace. And at the end, when they revealed, the Pandavas all revealed themselves, because they had to be incognito the last year of their exile. 13 years of exile and 1 year incognito, hiding. So they were in the kingdom of Virata. And that king, Virataraj, he wanted to give something to Arjuna. He said, take my daughter, what was her name? Uttara. Arjuna said, no, she was my student. Arjuna, in his days of hiding, his name was Brihatbala? Brihanala. And he taught dance. He was a eunuch, and he taught the dance for a year to the ladies of the kingdom, including Uttara. So Arjuna said, I can't marry Uttara. She's my dance disciple. Even today, you can't go with your disciple. You can't mix, even in the material world. An employee can't mix with the employer. The employer can't mix with the employee. That is offense. Nowadays, it's all coming out. What's it called? The Me Too, or It Happened to Me movement. Everybody's yes. My boss, the other boss, the boss before him. One lady wrote on Facebook at a yoga studio we know, my stepfather, his brother, until he died, my boss at work, the person that taught, everyone taking advantage. She was confessing to the Me Too. Me Too, on and on and on and on, non-stop. So this is the nature of the material world. Arjuna said, no, I can't marry Uttara. She's a disciple. She's like my daughter. So he gave his son Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu married Uttara. But shortly after marrying her, he went off to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra and was ambushed by the Maharatis of the Kurus. But he had impregnated Uttara, and she begot this Parikshit Maharaj as the son. Posthumously, Abhimanyu was the father of this Parikshit Maharaj. So all these amazing stories, amazing, pleasing pastimes are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna's pastimes are not Dukhayalam Ashashvatam. Our pastimes are. Remember when you did this? Dukhayalam Ashashvatam. Remember that? Remember when you graduated high school and refused to? So many Dukhayalam Ashashvatams. My sister was reminding me, here's your grandfather that died before you were born, and your grandmother, here's a picture, they all died before you were born. Here's your uncle who lost his leg and died when you were 12. Here was your grandmother who died when you were 18 and became blind like her sister. Actually, this is all the truth. I'm not making this. I'm not making this up. This is my familia. It all happens. Dukhayalam, but Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's relatives, they never have that Dukhayalam Ashashvatam. Their pastimes are eternal, not temporary. And their pastimes are always pleasing, not miserable. Therefore, if we become fixed up in those pastimes, fixed up in chanting the bhajans, where Krishna gives his instruction, fixed up in studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, like a lawyer can quote his law book. Soon we'll have verse class for all the bhaktas and devotees. We can learn verses. Then we fill ourselves up and simultaneously Visaya Chadiya Serase Majiya Muke Bolo Hari Hari. Give up our engagement in sense gratification. No more. Finished. Vaishnav Sannyasi means Nivrita Trishna Upagiyamanad Bhava Soda Chotra Manobhiramad. No more. Finished. Nivrita Tarshire. Finished with this material world. Bhava Soda Chotra Manobhiramad. Taking the medicine, the Bhava Sodi. The Osoda Neche Maya. Bhagavatam teaches us. Then we'll be very happy and we'll be able to make others happy. Even we may be physically sick, physically distraught, mentally despaired, we chant, we dance, we take prasadam, and there's great happiness, real happiness. Not this dukhayalam ashashvatam happiness that comes and goes, like the blowing of the wind. Prabhupada said, Krishna has arranged everything perfectly. The ocean is perfect. The ocean can destroy you. If there's a tsunami, all the buildings all the way to East LA will be destroyed. But Krishna makes sure that there's 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever it is, of the beach. And the waves just go. The sun, if it moved an inch this way or an inch that way, would burn us or freeze us to death. But the sun, working under Krishna's direction, is exactly in the right position and doesn't burn us too bad, doesn't freeze us too much, just what we can tolerate. So let us take this process very seriously and dedicate our lives to taking to the process and giving the process to others. Prabhupada said in 1975, just take this Krishna consciousness. I'm an old man. I may die at any moment. I may leave at any moment. You spread this Krishna consciousness for 50 more years. That was 75. So, Sura Prabhu, that's 2025. Still 7 more years. 6.5 at least. And for all of you young men, 50 more years till you're 75 years old, till you're Amala Bhakta Swami, and still dancing, chanting, and preaching Krishna consciousness. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Ask any of his disciples. This Chinese is his disciple. Oh my God. Yeah. I chanted for 3. She's 70. She's 76. 76. For your FYI.